Is there ever a day when Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are truly happy? Seemingly not. They've always got something to moan about, some sort of grievance that, really is all about how bad their lives are. I think that's been the biggest problem, for Harry and Meghan, particularly going through the fact that we went, as we all did around the world, the pandemic, and now the cost of living crisis. There's nothing more annoying, is there, than rich people moaning on about just how difficult their life is when we're all struggling ahead. But once again, it does appear that Harry and Meghan in particular are rather, shall we say, frosty with His Majesty the King. And it's all about this. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you today. Lovely to have your company. Yes, have a wave. I know, a bit of exercise. I know I tried a few exercises the other day. You know, when you haven't done them for a while, you could barely walk for the rest of the day. You shouldn't overdo it, should you? I know. It's a strain of even doing that ketchup bottle. I thought, that's enough, Neil. Slow down. On a more serious note, thank you for your lovely comments about the video with the brilliant and late now Tony Bennett. What a guy, truly, what a life he'd had. What I liked about him was he got his stardom, and as he pointed out, he got it when he was ready for it, more or less. And that's really refreshing. And he knew he was ready for it. And obviously, he remained a star for so many decades. Lovely man, and truly thank you for your wonderful comments. Back as ever to your breaking royal story of the day. You see, this story really has a lot of legs when you think about it. And you can understand in some respects why the former royals known as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are steaming. This is because they feel aggrieved. Now, if you cast your mind back, according to Prince Harry, it was our late and wonderful monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, that bestowed upon them Frogmore Cottage. This is the cottage that they lived in after apparently moaning about the state of it. And let's not forget, the chat show doyen Oprah Winfrey was amazed that anybody could live in such a cottage. Ridiculous, isn't it? On the Crown Estate, free, not bad, but not good enough for Meghan, Oh no. After very expensive renovations, and I must point this out, and as ever, we have to say allegedly, if you recall, on Harry and Meghan's statement for Frogmore, they said basically that they'd left the property in a much better state for whoever takes it on next. Let's not forget where the money came from. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Prince Harry's money comes from, or came from at that point, let's not forget, His Majesty the King, who was then the Prince of Wales. So of course he renovated his own place. What's the problem? But according to a very good source, a very well-placed source, Harry and Meghan are fuming simply because they were asked to vacate Frogmore Cottage and have now been offered the opportunity at times to stay in Buckingham Palace with notice. But according to that source, they feel very aggrieved simply because they say, well, there was no rush to vacate it. They could have carried on renting it, and that was going to be their base coming back to London. Now, a lot of people are speculating as to, well, why was this pushed ahead so quickly? Was this to do with Catherine and William? I can tell you 100% yes. I mean, who wants to see Meghan and Harry on the estate after they've trashed you? And let's not forget, it's all about unity and family. Now, you take also the fact that William and Catherine are having a bigger presence over at Windsor. On a more serious note, their children will be roaming around. And let's not also forget how badly that Harry and Meghan claimed living at Windsor was. So why do they simply want to moan about it? Well, the matter of fact of this is simply this. Having something on the Crown Estate really worked well into their story. They still had a property within royal circles. You get the picture now. And of course, what the King was brilliant at doing was simply taking that out of the equation, removing them out and simply offering them accommodation as and when they would need it. This, of course, has made the brand once again more precarious. It's not about the cottage. It's not about, whether they like living there or not. It's simply about status. And that, once again, is well and truly gone. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.